From second chapter, now the derivation of the Newton's second law. So first we should know what is the Newton's second law. Who is going to tell me what is the Newton's second law? Newton's second law. Raise your hand. Paras. What is Newton's second law? There are 3 laws of Newton, and all are important. Okay. Aradhana? The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied in the direction of the motion of the body. So, sit down. So, suppose this is a body having the mass of m. Okay? And initially it is moving with the velocity of u. After applying some force over it, its velocity changes to v. Okay? Its velocity changes to v. Suppose the time taken by this object to change the velocity is t. And since the velocity is going to be changes, so we can say that it has the accelerated motion. So suppose the acceleration produced in the body is a. Okay? So first of all, you should know what is the Newton's second law. Newton's second law is not only the statement. You have to again write the derivation of the law. So first one, the law is the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied in the direction of motion of the body. So this is the law. Then again, you will write all the statement about this. You let a body of mass m moving with the velocity of u, and after applying some force over it, its velocity changes to v in t time. Let the acceleration produced in the body is a. So what are you doing? You are mentioning all the terms which you are using in the derivation. So again, just think about it. If you want to change the velocity in a large quantity, so do you have to apply large force or less force? Large force. More force you have to apply. If you want to change the velocity with a small unit, this means you want to change the velocity. Suppose, for example, let the velocity is moving with the 2 meters per second, and you want to change the speed. It's to 10 meters per second. In short period of time, it can be t. Or for example, another example is 2 meters per second the initial velocity of the body, and you want to change the speed to 5 meters per second. So in which case you have to apply more force, large force. First one, right? Because in this case you want to change the velocity in a large quantity. So it means the force depend on the velocity. How much velocity you want to change, either large or the small. It means we can say the force depends on the velocity of the body. One more example. Suppose a body having the mass of 1 kg, another one having the mass of 5 kg. In which case you have to apply the more force? 5 kg, obviously. So in this case you have to apply more force. It means the force is depend on the mass as well as on the velocity. And the single term which we use for the mass and the velocity is the momentum. So what is the momentum? A body having the mass and the velocity will have the momentum. So the single term we represent for the mass and the velocity is the momentum. So we can say that the force is depend on the change in momentum. जितना ज़्यादा आपको momentum change करना है, mass as well as velocity, उतना ही ज़्यादा. देखो mass तो constant रहने वाला है, लेकिन जो momentum है वो होता है product of the mass and the velocity. तो जितना ज़्यादा mass होगा उतना ज़्यादा आपको force apply करना पड़ेगा. जितना ज़्यादा velocity change करना चाहते हो उतना ही ज़्यादा आपको force apply करना पड़ेगा. So we can say that force is directly proportional to the change of momentum. Momentum is initial momentum is m into u, and the final momentum is m into v. So what is the change in momentum? mv minus m into v. This is a change in momentum. So the first line is the force is directly proportional to the change in momentum of the body. Now again, the next one is the rate of change of momentum. What is the meaning of rate? Rate of means per second. In unit time, it can be 1 second, it can be 1 hour. So it means the force is inversely proportional to the time. For example, let a body having the mass of 1 kg and having some velocity, suppose 2 meters per second. Are you getting? एक पार्ट में पहले वाले में आपको मैंने आपको 1 सेकंड में वेलोसिटी में चेंज करना है. सपोज यू आर पैडलिंग अ बाइसिकल चला रहे हो, आपको 1 सेकंड में वेलोसिटी टाइम करनी है अपनी. दूसरा केस है आपके पास कि 10 सेकंड्स आपके पास वेलोसिटी को चेंज करने के लिए. सो इन व्हिच केस यू हैव टू अप्लाई मोर फोर्स.
मैम फर्स्ट वन 1 सेकंड.
जहां पे आपको टाइम कम देना पड़ रहा है वहां पे आपको ज्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. इट मींस फोर्स इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द टाइम टेकन. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द न्यूटन सेकंड लॉ. द रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम, रेट ऑफ इज यूनिट टाइम, द रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम इज टाइम प्रोपोर्शनल टू द फोर्स अप्लाइड इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन ऑफ द बॉडी. सो इसके बाद आप क्या करते हैं, वी कैन टेक m as a common. It will be mv minus c upon t. And what is the v minus c upon t? Acceleration. So we can say f that proportional to m into a. Can we write it?
Yes.
Okay. Now we know that we have to remove the direct proportional sign and we have to use a constant time. So we are using a constant k. Sorry, is equal to k into m into a. Now in SI unit. You know what is the meaning of SI unit? SI unit means SI unit. Seriously, don't know what the SI unit? Standard unit. What are the standard units? Have you learned the? Have you ever? Have you ever listened about the MKS unit or CGS unit?
Yes, ma'am.
CGS, you know. And what is the MKS unit? No, I don't know. Okay. Look at here. MKS and CGS. Actually, MKS is a standard unit. What is the meaning of it? M is M represent the meter. We represent the length into meter. And K for kilogram is the unit of mass. And S for second. So this is a standard unit. These are the primary units. Length we represent length in meter, mass in kilogram and time in seconds. And this is CGS unit. CGS means C for centimeter, G for gram, and S for second. So this is not the SI unit, but these are the SI units. So standard unit, SI unit means the standard unit MKS, meter, kilogram, and seconds. So here in this case, in a standard unit, we can say that the K is equal to 1. In SI unit, the value of K is equal to 1. So we get the formula as equal to amplitude. Okay. If there is a question, then write the Newton's second law. Then what will you do? You have to write the law, then hold the statement, the terms which we are using in the exam, in the derivation, and then do all this derivation. लिखने लायक तो नहीं है बोर्ड पे. Are you clear? Have any doubt in this one? I think it was your doubt, no? Which is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now conservation of momentum from the second chapter. First of all, tell me what is the law of conservation of momentum?
No
हाँ?
changing momentum. मतलब अगर हम दो बॉडी है तो अगर उसमें जो भी कोलिजन वगैरह होगा तो उसमें चेंज नहीं होगा मोमेंटम.
हाँ, it means the momentum before the interaction is equal to the momentum after the interaction. So for law, you have to write the statement of two lines, which was in the which is in your book. Okay, not the मतलब आप explanation नहीं लिखते हो बल्कि law का मतलब है दो लाइन का law ही लिखना है आपको. Yeah. So conservation of momentum. Yeah, according to him, yeah, he is right that the momentum of a body before interaction and after interaction remain conserved. So, for example, let the body having the mass m. Like two bodies having the mass m1 and m2. Okay, these are two bodies having the different mass. And suppose they are moving with the different velocities. अगर velocity same होंगे तो they will not collide with each other. They have a different velocity like u1 and u2. These are the two velocities of the object. Okay, and they are moving in a straight line in the same direction. It's very important to write down that they are moving in the same direction. Suppose they are moving in a different direction, then the velocity will have the opposite sign. तो लिखना बहुत जरूरी है कि सेम साइन में सेम डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा. ताकि आप कह सकते हो कि both are positive. Now they collide with each other because their velocities are different, so they collide with each other. Suppose they collide, m2 and m1. They collide for the time t, and after collision, their velocity going to be changes. Suppose the two balls are moving in the same direction and they collide with each other, velocity becomes different. So the mass of the body having the mass m1, now its velocity is v1. Suppose after the collision, and this body having the velocity of v2. Is it clear? So you have to write all the statement here. What is m1, what is u1, u2, m1, m2, v1, v2. Okay? Okay. So we can apply the Newton's second law. Okay, one more thing. Let this is object A and this is object B. Okay, these are object A and B. If they collide with each other, what will happen? This object A will apply some force over B. है ना? जब collide करेंगे तो A ने B पे force apply किया and B applied force on A. So the force applied by A on B, suppose we are representing it by FAB. This is the force applied by A on B, and this is the force BA, which is applied by the B on A. जब दोनों collide करेंगे तो A ने B पे force apply किया, B ने A पे force apply किया, ठीक है? So this is the force applied by A on B, and this is the force applied by B on A. Any doubt? According to Newton's second law, we know that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied. So the velocity of the body having the mass m2 is changes due to the force applied by A on B. है ना? A ने B पे force apply किया, तभी तो B की velocity में change आया है. So we can say that force applied by B on A is equal to change in momentum of the object B. Because A applies some force over B, so that the velocity of the B is going to be changes. And according to Newton's second law, we can say that the force applied on B from A is equal to the change in momentum of the body A. कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं, फिर से समझो. A ने B पे फोर्स अप्लाई किया, तो B के मोमेंटम में चेंज आएगा. B ने A पे फोर्स अप्लाई किया, A के मोमेंटम में चेंज आएगा. अब आप कहते हैं न्यूटन सेकंड लॉ. न्यूटन सेकंड लॉ क्या कहता है कि B ने A पे फोर्स अप्लाई किया तो A के मोमेंटम में चेंज आया. इसका मतलब B ने A पे कितना फोर्स अप्लाई किया, जितना A के मोमेंटम में चेंज आया. सो इट विल बी m1 v1 minus u1 upon t. कोई डाउट है इसमें? So this is the force applied by B on A, due to which the velocity of the A going to be changes. Now the force applied by A on B is equal to the rate of change of momentum of body B. Is it clear? है ना? अब A ने कितना force apply किया B पे, जितना B के momentum में change आया. Now we know that according to Newton's third law. What is the Newton's third law? This is not the correct way to answer. Raise your hand and then you can answer. Okay. Your name? Divyansha. Yes, Divyansha.
Ma'am, every action is a reaction.
Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Suppose I am making action over the wall, then the wall will also hurt my hand. The action, this is the action. And the ball applied some force on my hand. This is the reaction. So every action is an equal. Have a seat. So page number 129, question number 15. An object of mass 1 kg traveling in a straight line with a velocity of 10 meters per second. So the mass of the body is 1 kg and initial velocity u1 is 10 meters per second. Collide with a stationary wooden block. If they are colliding with each other, it means we will follow the law of conservation of momentum. So it collides with a stationary wooden block. What do you mean by stationary wooden block? It means what is given in the question? A stationary wooden block. It means so what is the meaning by rest में है? Initial velocity is velocity of the body. Wooden block having the mass 5 kg and 2 is 5 kg, and then they move off together in a same straight line. They stick with each other and moves off with the same velocity. So the v1 and v2 should be same because they stick with each other. It means the final velocity of both the objects will be equal. So we can say let the velocity of both the objects is v. So suppose this is the velocity of the object. Now according to conservation of momentum, we can say that m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Now please solve this question in your notebook. This is question number 15 in page number 189. Your homework is, now you have to do gravitation chapter from NCERT. In this chapter, we have a lots of blue columns like this. These are the blue columns, huh? Like this, blue columns, huh? So you have to do these blue columns as well as the exercises in the last part of the chapter. Okay, except those questions which have deleted from the syllabus. Okay, and the derivation of universal law of gravitation and all the definitions like the gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant, acceleration to gravity. So now your next homework is you have to complete your gravitation chapter as well as your second chapter. Okay, so all the work blue columns of your NCERT book and these exercises.